The Dear Departed, a comedy in one act by Stanley Houghton. Characters: Abel Merryweather, an elderly widower, unsuspecting, good-natured but sharp-eyed when roused. Mrs. Slater, his daughter, materialistic, officious. Mr. Slater, her husband, pompous and easily swayed. Mrs. Jordan, his other daughter, similarly greedy but more diffident. Mr. Jordan, her husband, fawning, nervy, tries to keep peace. Minnie, a young girl. This part is optional. Some versions have her as a witness at the window. It can be adapted to a neighbor or servant. Mrs. Fay, the decent old woman Abel mentions. In the original, she does not appear on stage. Setting: the sitting room of Abel Merryweather's modest suburban house. Furniture is plain but well kept, a grandfather clock. Sofa, armchairs, a small side table, slippers by the fireplace. etc. Afternoon light filters through curtained windows, a sense of order that will be disrupted. The play begins with a knock at the door. The sound of carriage wheels on gravel outside, and then a knock at the door. From within, the sound of a chair scraping. Silence. A cough. Then the door opens slowly, and Mrs. Slater enters briskly, followed closely by her husband, Mr. Slater. They are both carrying small parcels. A moment later, Mrs. Jordan and Mr. Jordan enter, similar laden. All of them are hatted and hooded and look about them with sharp, appraising eyes. Mrs. Slater: well, I don't know how it is with you, Jordan, but I call it plain that father's been dead some time. No one ever keeps a room like this if they're well. Mr. Slater, touching the clock: yes, capital clock. Capital. I'll take care of it. I don't see why you shouldn't have it, my dear. You've looked after father all these years? Mrs. Jordan, trying to appear shocked. Slater: do you mean to talk about taking things before the funeral has even been arranged? Mrs. Slater, firmly: my dear, it's not taking, it's arranging. Father would have wished us to divide things properly. That clock has been in the family. You've no need of it in your poky little house. The two couples glance at each other and then look away again. There is a silence while Mrs. Jordan eyes the slippers near the fireplace. Mrs. Slater takes a cushion from a chair and smooths it out. The front door bell rings again. They all start. Mr. Jordan, uneasy, to Mrs. Jordan: now, Lily, no, let's not make any fuss. We'll only take what's properly ours. I'll leave it to you, my dear. Mrs. Slater opens a drawer, takes out some small ornaments, her eyes darting about as if inventorying. Mr. Slater is plumping cushions, glancing nervously at the wall pictures. Mrs. Slater, softly to herself, while picking up a small vase: well, if he's gone, I don't see why he shouldn't have had the decency to leave a will. I suppose we'll have to make our own arrangements. Mr. Slater, boasting: I'll see to the funeral. Of course, one doesn't know what he would have wanted, but with me in charge, it'll be first class. To Mrs. Jordan: you'll have to hurry, you know. There's no time to waste. The door opens suddenly, and Abel Merryweather appears, slightly bewildered, carrying a walking stick, looking as if he just came downstairs for a quiet hour. Close-up on daughters' faces, freeze and shocked, guilty expressions transitioning quickly into forced composure. Abel, surprised, cheerful: ah, what's all this? I've been asleep. Why, I declare, I thought I heard something going on down here. Looks sharply at the assembled group. Good afternoon, all of you. I'm glad to see you. I thought I was dead and buried, it seems. A beat. They stare at each other awkwardly. Tension builds. The music stops. Abel turns slowly to look at the clock, then at the slippers, then back at them. He stiffens slightly, then recovers with dry humor. Abel, slow, cutting smile: I suppose you were dividing things in advance? The clock's not gone yet, is it? Close up on Mr. Slater, trying to laugh it off. Mrs. Jordan averts her gaze. The camera lingers on Abel's face, notice a hardening, a decision forming. Mrs. Slater, quickly: oh, father, we thought there's been such a misunderstanding. Of course, we didn't suppose Abel, interrupting sharply. No, no. I've heard enough. I didn't know I was so precious when I was alive. Pauses, then softer. You'd have been better employed in seeing I was comfortable instead of seeing what I do leave. Very well. He moves slowly to sit down. He leans on the arm of the chair, and the daughters shuffle uneasily. The sound of the ticking clock is louder, emphasizing the moment. Abel pulls from his pocket a small folded paper implied, or in video you can show him taking a ledger. Abel, I have been thinking of making a little arrangement. I was going to leave everything to a decent old woman I know, Mrs. Fay. She has been a friend. She's looked after me in ways you've never thought necessary. Optional visual, a flashback or imagined insert of Mrs. Fay, maybe in Abel's mind, or a photograph on the mantel. If desired, include a short voiceover snippet of her saying something kind. Mrs. Slater, outraged. Trying to regain control, father. You surely don't mean to say, after all we've done for you? Abel, coldly. Exactly. After all you've done looking after what you might get? I'm tired of being invisible until I've ceased to be of use. Stands, dignified. I think I'll go and see Mrs. Fay. If she have me, I shall be comfortable, and she shall have my comfortable things. You can take the rest of your good intentions and lay them to rest with your consciences. He exits with a small, contented saunter. The camera follows briefly, then snaps back to the daughters in the quiet room. The clock ticks. A heavy beat. Mrs. Slater, low, to Mr. Slater. Well, what are we to do now? Mr. Slater, putting on a faint smile, composing himself. Well, wait, it's not over yet. There's always the will. The screen fades to black. The sound of the clock ticking continues for a moment before fading out completely.